V1019 playing your favorite throwbacks, and today's R&B, I am so excited. We have Fly Ty and Jacinda in here. We are breaking in on the Steve Harvey Morning Show because we have two very special guests that joined us today. Jacinda, can I give you the honors of introducing who came to see us today?
Of course, let's do it. Welcome Vice Chairman and President Fred Whitfield to the show this morning. Also, President of Basketball Operations and the favorite name. This is like my favorite name, Mitch Kupchak. I say it all like Mitch Kupchak. I think that's the coolest name ever for our Charlotte Hornets. So thank you guys for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Now, Tuesday, Michael Jordan donated $2 million to hurricane relief efforts, which I think is astounding, but not only putting your money where your mouth is, but also going out, packing 5,000 bags to actually send out to the coast. Talk a little bit about what all this entails when you talk about hurricane relief and how the Charlotte Hornets is backing this movement.
Yeah, Jacinda, first of all, thanks for having Mitch and I. And, we at the Hornets take a lot of pride in giving back to our community. And all of those efforts are led by Michael as our owner. And Tuesday is just another example of his philanthropic efforts to give back. He was certainly touched in a big way by seeing his hometown, Wilmington, really get devastated by the hurricane, and felt like he wanted to step up and he and his family make a financial contribution. And so he decided to make $1 million donation to Foundation of the Carolinas, and also the American Red Cross. And the American Red Cross has really stepped up in a big way. Foundation of the Carolinas is going to make sure that they distribute the money directly to the hurricane victims, and then more importantly, getting out in the field with Mitch and all the basketball operations folks, our players, our coaches, our business operations team. We're going to put together 5,000 care packages of food with our partner Food Line, and that food will go directly to Wilmington, to Fayetteville, to Myrtle Beach, to those areas where people were really devastated and cannot even get to food. And so Michael will be here, certainly representing our organization and leading the way. And we at the organization are all really happy to jump in and be able to do all we can to assist these victims.
Not only the organization, but I always say we have the best fans in the world, right here in Buzz City, and our fans are able to be a part of this relief efforts that we're doing, right?
Yeah, one of the things that we think we can do is use our platform to really give more exposure to those that are in need. And so if our fans will go to Hornets.com, and many have already done that, they can donate to 5 different organizations that are helping with the relief efforts. They can also get a Carolina Strong T-shirt, and those T-shirts are really cool T-shirts. All those funds, again, will go directly to the victims. And so we're trying to do everything we can to encourage the entire community to give back and help those that are really having a tough time right now.
Thank you so much for what you're doing. This is big. This is one of those things where, we like to say we're out there helping, but you really are, and in a local way. This is a local impact here, and so thank you so much for setting this up, for being the lead. Beasley Cares is also joining this effort as well, and so thank you also for allowing for the community to be a part of this effort as well. Let's talk a little basketball now.
A little bit of basketball. And of course, we're excited to have you in Buzz City. Mitch, a lot of changes during the off season, but I know it's changes for the better.
Well, we hope so, certainly. Yes. And in this business, sometimes a change is just necessary.
Yeah.
And Steve Clifford, who was the coach here last year, is an excellent coach. He's going to be coaching in the NBA next year. And there were a lot of other people, that were with the organization last year that are no longer with the organization. It's somewhere between 20 and 30 people. Mm-hmm. And they're all good people. But once again, sometimes a change, is just in the cards. And we made personnel changes. We had, I think, a very productive draft. And of course, our biggest change would be with our coach. Bringing in James Borrego, who spent many years in San Antonio, left San Antonio, went to New Orleans, worked with Monty Williams, went to Orlando, worked with Scott Skiles, then went back to San Antonio. Having said all that, he's still only 42 years old, and we think he's going to be a very bright up-and-coming coach going forward. The pace of the game is going to be different. You'll see a lot of up and down. You'll see a lot of threes. A lot of the way the game is played today is the way we hope to play. Now, it's my job to get the players that can be productive and play that way. Yeah. And if you get the coach playing a certain way, and if you get the right kind of talented players, then hopefully the result is wins.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So we have training camp starting next week. We have preseason game Chapel Hill next Friday, Hornets versus Celtics. But one of my favorite, the open practice. I love that we call it purple teal scrimmage, but I love this because the fans can actually come out for free, and it's like our first time really, laying our eyes on the players, and then we have a little bit of fun too. How can fans come and be a part of that? Because I did see that there are free tickets.
Yeah, the tickets are free, and fans can claim up to 4 tickets by just downloading our Hornets app and claiming those tickets. But it is going to be a different type open practice this year. Coach Borrego was totally in favor of having an intra-squad scrimmage, which is something that we hadn't done before. So our fans will get to see the new style of play that Mitch is talking about that'll really, I think, be exciting to watch this year. So we're hoping that we'll have a great turnout on Saturday, October 6th, right at Spectrum Center at noon. I know the players are excited about it. Our new coaching staff's excited. I know our executive team is as excited as we've been in a long time, and I'd just like to thank Mitch and his team for coming in and really working very hard and diligent over the summer to do everything they can to give us the best opportunity to improve on the floor as we move forward as an organization.
Well, we really appreciate that, and I think this is going to be an exciting year for the Hornets. Not only the All-Star game is coming to Charlotte, but we're celebrating 30 years. 1988 was the year. I remember that was the year that the Charlotte Hornets came to Charlotte, and it changed the city forever. So how excited are you guys that we're celebrating now? You see what I'm wearing, right? You see I got my throwback, right?
Yeah.
You see I'm representing, right?
Yeah.
How excited is it in Buzz City that now we're celebrating 30 years of Hornets here?
It's an extremely exciting time. I was a season ticket holder with the old Hornets franchise, and they did so many great things, not just on the court, winning 50 games from time to time, but also the things they did in the community. So when we went back and asked the league to reclaim the Hornets name, we also wanted to get the history. And with that history, we got all the records from 1988 to 2002. We also were able to celebrate those players that played on the old Hornets teams. And so this year we're going to have 8 classic nights, and we're going to honor some of the former Hornets players on those nights. We're going to bring back the court that they used to play on back in the day. We're bringing back the white uniform with pinstripes, and so we're gonna make the building feel like it felt back in the 80s and 90s with our music and how our dance team performs and all those type things. So it's going to be a fun year. But the thing that I think that's going to be the most fun is just watching our players come out and work hard and play hard every night for our fans who deserve it. And so this will just be a celebration of basketball that'll all culminate in February with the All-Star game coming here. And so it's really sort of a perfect storm of a season. And again, we're just excited to have Mitch here leading our basketball operations and really having us focused on trying to win as many games as we can.
Absolutely. And Mitch, let's talk about the players for a minute. Great draft picks. We got Tony Parker coming from San Antonio, another NBA legend, all-star. How do you feel like our players are looking this year so far?
Well, they've been pretty active in the gym, since our coach got here. A big part of our coach's identity, in addition to the style of play, is player development and being very involved in the players improving during the off season. A lot of times during the off season, the players will leave upon the last game, and you won't see them again until they have to come back, which is the first day of training camp. In fact, when I played, I was pretty much that way. Yeah. I would go back to wherever I wanted to go, and I'd work on my game by myself. Our gym, since our coach was hired, has been full of activity since the day he was hired. And the last month, if you look out my window, which overlooks the court, the music is loud, it's blaring, which is very common in today's NBA. And there are probably 10 to 15 coaches on the court, and there are 10 to 15 players on the court every day working out on a voluntary basis. They don't have to be there. So, from my point of view, just looking at the energy in the building and the excitement in the building and the players working hard every day and the coaches clapping and encouraging and rebounding and, dogging loose balls and the players with their effort and, at the end of it, they all come together, put their hands together and, the season hasn't started yet.
Woo!
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
from where I sit, that's a really, really good thing. I'm sure there'll be times during the season, where you kind of hit a point where things don't go the right way, and there'll be some patience, that'll be necessary from our fans and our coaches, and I'll have to encourage and maybe get involved and help, based on experience and get them through a rough point. So you always need a little patience. But going into the season, we're excited. I like what I see. And training camp is next week in Chapel Hill, starting on Tuesday. It's right here. We're ready to go.
See, that's exciting. That's some insight right there, to know that our players are there, practicing, and they don't even have to be there. All that. So that's really good. So they're ready. Fans are ready. With us celebrating 30 years, that's already electric as it is. But I think one thing that I'm constantly hearing from fans out in the community, everyone's really excited about NBA All-Star, and I guess we're excited about it, but we're also like, what does that mean for our city? Like, what can we expect for next year when that comes to town?
Well, I tell you, Jacinda, we've been working now 3 years on the All-Star game because, as you know, we lost it, and fortunately Commissioner Silver re-awarded it to us. But it's going to be a global event. It'll put our great city on the global stage. We'll have the best players in the world coming into Charlotte. It'll be a $100 million economic impact for our region. Part-time workers in our arena and in other buildings and hotels and restaurants and so forth will be able to benefit from this effort. And so our city officials have just been phenomenal and really wanting to partner with us and the NBA. The NBA's had people on the ground here working day in, day out. They want this to be the best celebration that they've had in years. We're committed to doing our part as an organization, to being a great host. And I just think our state really deserves, coming out of all the tough things we've had to go through with HB2, with the hurricane, with all of those type things, to be able to have something positive to celebrate in February is something we can really look forward to.
Well, Mitch, there's an all-star that I feel like we have been overlooking right here in Buzz City, and I think he may have a chance to be on the court with the Hornets this year. He's a great point guard. He goes by the name of Fly Tie. He's your arena host, but hey, this guy, you might want to give him a look. I'm just saying. Any chance that we can have some tryouts for the arena host to kind of be backup for Kimball Walker this year?
I've used the expression before. You're welcome to try out, but just your morning job, keep your morning job.
Right. Don't quit your day job, basically.
And your wife is saying that too, by
the way. Look, I've seen him play. It's not that good.
Oh, my goodness.
He's great behind the mic.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I love it. Thank you so much. The Hornets do so much in the community, on and off the basketball court, and we're grateful to be a part of that. Me and Jacinda, to be able to be at every home game, being your host. We're so grateful for this opportunity, and it's because of the organization that I found my forever love. And so I want to tell both of you guys, thank you for allowing us to be a part of it. Of course, I'm a part of the book bus, so I'm in the community every day. I see what the Hornets are doing. So I think this is something great with the hurricane relief efforts, and we're going to continue to push for those efforts all year long.
And we just, as an organization, want to thank the two of you for really representing us well, doing a great job keeping our fans engaged in the game and all you do out in the community. So thank you to both of you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.